Welcome to British Focus, your premier source for incisive analysis and thoughtful commentary on the ever-changing arena of British politics. Today, we bring you an in-depth exploration of a scandal that has rattled the core of political integrity, exposing misleading claims and dubious credentials that have plunged the establishment into chaos. In this comprehensive video, we unravel the complexities of the controversy and scrutinize the actions and decisions that have eroded public trust. We invite you to join our vibrant community by subscribing, liking, and sharing your views, as your engagement is vital to our dialogue on truth and accountability. Stay with us, remain curious, and prepare for a revealing journey. Furthermore, our investigation meticulously examines every aspect of the scandal, revealing hidden inconsistencies and challenging official accounts to offer you a clear, unbiased view on this political crisis. Now, let's watch the video and uncover the full story together.
He's changed the CV. He's changed his LinkedIn. He's admitted that he made a mistake. The government have said that he will probably be sorry for having done it. So I don't think there's any doubt that it's happened. The question is, what happens to him now?
Yeah.
And let's talk to Kevin Hollingbrake now, who's the MP, of course, and Shadow Business Secretary as well. Kevin, very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good to see you. I mean, you're opposite numbers in a bit of shtuck, isn't he? Thinks he was a solicitor, suddenly remembered he wasn't, and so now his CV has been changed.
But just to clarify, I'm actually Shadow Housing Communities Local Government and Levelling Up. So he's not my opposite number, but he was my opposite number when I was Post Office Minister. But it appears he's made a very significant error here, and he's clearly got a case to answer, and he's got a right to reply, of course, but you cannot mislead Parliament and without there being consequences of doing that. And I think if he has said he's something that he's not, that's not right. If he said it on the floor of the House, and there will be consequences that flow from that. If that's
that he did say it on the floor of the House, and he has said it on several occasions.
Yep.
He's even given an interview to the effect that he said he chose the career as an MP because it would be better for his family life than being a solicitor. I mean, this has been going on now for some time. It was 2010, I think, when it first appeared that he had worked as a solicitor. And is there not surely some kind of breaching of parliamentary code or ministerial code of some?
A business secretary was told to stop claiming he was a solicitor on his CV by the lawyer's watchdog. Again, if you turn around and say, I'm a solicitor when you're not a solicitor, you then get barred from becoming a solicitor. But he stood in Parliament and said, back in the days when I was a solicitor in Manchester, far harder lifestyle than this as an MP.
In today's turbulent political climate, it is impossible to overlook the startling scandal that has emerged, shaking the foundations of trust in our political leadership. Recent changes to a prominent figure's CV and LinkedIn profile have not gone unnoticed. What might have been intended as an admission of error has instead raised serious questions about transparency and integrity. Many of you may be wondering whether this act was a genuine attempt at accountability or simply a calculated move to obscure past mistakes. The deliberate revision of such crucial professional records suggests a deep-seated discomfort with confronting the truth, a truth that has now ignited a full-blown crisis. At the core of this controversy lies the figure of Jonathan Reynolds, whose name has become inextricably linked with deception. Reynolds, once a trusted member of the leadership circle, boldly claimed to be a qualified solicitor, a claim that has since been exposed as nothing more than an elaborate fabrication. How does someone in his position justify such a misrepresentation? And what does this reveal about the standards expected within a party that prides itself on accountability? For those following these events, it is a stark reminder that when trusted individuals distort their credentials, the implications extend far beyond personal credibility. It undermines the very principles of honesty that our political system is supposed to uphold. This incident is not an isolated blip on the radar. Rather, it is symptomatic of a broader crisis within the establishment. The admission of a mistake, when paired with such overt fabrications, leaves us questioning whether the leadership is genuinely committed to reform or merely engaging in superficial damage control. The erosion of trust is evident, and it forces us, as a discerning audience, to consider the long-term impact of these actions on democratic accountability. When those in positions of power manipulate even the smallest details of their past, it erodes public confidence and casts a long shadow over the integrity of our institutions. As you listen, consider this not just a political debacle confined to the corridors of Westminster, but a clarion call for heightened scrutiny and a demand for greater transparency from our leaders. The scandal, rooted in a web of deceit, challenges us to rethink our expectations and to hold those in authority to a higher standard, a standard that values truth above all else.
First of all, who makes out like being an MP is like, oh yeah, it's coasting this is easy. That's not exactly going to win you favour. But at the same time, this is lying in Parliament. And I would suggest, given the amount of flack that Boris Johnson got for being a serial liar, a fibber, an embellisher, an exaggerator, then given what they got him for, the petard from which he was hung, was basically, did he have cake, did he not have cake, and how long was he in a room inside his own blimmin' building where he worked anyway? Frankly, this stuff, I'd say, if you can get done for being 10 minutes inside a room of stuff that you were in and have to be in as part of your job, but all of a sudden cake was or was not added, and that is the defining factor of whether you stop being Prime Minister, lying in front of Parliament that you are a solicitor, lying on your CV about the experience you have when you become Chancellor, I think is a bit bigger than blimmin' did you eat.
Louise Haigh, who essentially lied by not telling the public that she was a convicted fraudster. So she actually had to go as Transport Secretary. This cabinet is full of liars, including Jonathan Reynolds. This is him speaking in the House of Commons, in the Commons. Take this away, go on.
Before the last election, I worked as a solicitor in Manchester city centre, and I would travel in to Manchester every day from what is now my constituency.
Well, he's lost a lot of hair and grown a beard, but there he is lying to Parliament about being a solicitor. That's quite a serious thing. You can't lie to the House. Now, I think that this shouldn't just be left alone. I mean, he must at the very least make a public apology about this, and if I was Keir Starmer, I'd think about firing him. I mean, the amount of liars in the cabinet, this is serious stuff, and there he is lying to Parliament. What do you think?
I agree, this guy is a fraud. I think it's kind of sad that he felt the need to do that. Well, if he just said, before I came to this place, I was training as a solicitor. You know, what's wrong with that? Why are these people so lacking in self-confidence, or why do they think their credentials are so weak that they have to spin them up in that way? I mean, maybe their CVs are pretty crap and they need to spin them up to be a bit more impressive, but
The evolution of this scandal is nothing short of a cautionary tale about the pervasive culture of deceit that seems to have taken root within political circles. As we delve deeper into the allegations against Jonathan Reynolds, it becomes impossible to ignore the intricate web of lies that has been spun, casting a long shadow over the entire party. Reynolds' false claims of being a qualified solicitor, a title he never earned, are emblematic of a broader pattern of dishonesty. It makes one ask, what has driven him to such lengths? And more importantly, what does it say about the values upheld by those in power? In analyzing this controversy, it is clear that these aren't isolated incidents but part of a systemic issue that plagues the political establishment. The falsehoods surrounding Reynolds have not only marred his own reputation but have also significantly dented the public's trust in the leadership of Sir Keir Starmer. Many of you might wonder how such blatant misrepresentations could ever be tolerated in an environment where credibility is paramount. When the very building blocks of a political career, credentials and professional integrity, are manipulated for personal or political gain, it sends a disturbing message about the lengths to which some will go to secure power. This scandal draws uncomfortable comparisons with other political misadventures where similar tactics were employed, suggesting that a culture of spin and embellishment has been quietly normalized. We must ask ourselves, are these deceptions mere aberrations, or do they reveal a deeper malaise within our political institutions? It is a stark reminder that when honesty is compromised, the very foundation of democratic accountability begins to crumble. As engaged citizens, your vigilance and skepticism are more crucial than ever. We need to hold our leaders accountable, demanding transparency in every facet of their public and private lives. Moreover, the ramifications of this scandal extend far beyond Reynolds himself. They implicate a broader culture that has allowed such discrepancies to persist unchecked, undermining the integrity of the entire party. It is a matter of great concern when a political establishment appears to prioritize expediency over truth. As you listen to these revelations, consider the broader implications. If dishonesty is rewarded and falsehoods remain unchallenged, what hope do we have for genuine reform? The erosion of trust in our political system is not just an abstract worry. It is a crisis that strikes at the heart of our democratic values. This unfolding narrative serves as a call to action for all who care about the future of our political landscape. It compels us to scrutinize not only the actions of a single individual but the collective culture that allowed such deceptions to take root. Let this be a reminder that integrity should never be sacrificed on the altar of political ambition, and that true leadership requires nothing less than unwavering honesty.
Less impressive, is there, than being caught out in this way and being exposed as he has been? I think it's tremendously embarrassing, and it's just mendacious in the end. I think that's quite an extraordinary thing to do, and it's a problem across many professions. There's a real concern about it in relation, now and again, serious cases come up in the NHS of doctors who claim to have, who actually turn out to be fake doctors. It's not at all on her.
That's private life. Politics is a different matter. These politicians, they get elected by constituents, by the people, on the back of who they tell their constituents they are. I'm a solicitor. I'm a man of great achievement. I was an economist for 50 years at the Bank of England, so on and so forth. Rachel from accounts lied through her teeth about her CV. For lying about being a solicitor. He said that he was a solicitor in Manchester. It's on his CV, it's on his LinkedIn profile, at least it was. It turns out he wasn't a solicitor. He trained to be a solicitor but never qualified. Well, it transpires today that the sort of watchdog of the profession, the Solicitors Regulation Authority, they're called, some time ago, told him to stop saying he was a solicitor. Now, the point is, as we discussed last night, Isabel, a lot of people, polish up their CV, maybe over-exaggerate what a wonderful qualified person they are and all their brilliant achievements. People do that to get jobs, and and in most areas of life, it doesn't really matter. A major chief executive of a huge city accountancy firm today quit because he said he was a chartered accountant and he wasn't. To the mother of all parliaments, recorded in Hansard for time immemorial. This is serious stuff. They've got, actually, in terms of Reynolds and that sort of incontrovertible moment where he lied to the House, he actually does have to do something about that.
This scandal has not only exposed individual failings, but also laid bare a systemic crisis that threatens the very fabric of our political system. As we scrutinize the fallout from these revelations, it becomes clear that the loss of public trust is the most damaging consequence. The once revered institution of political leadership now finds itself grappling with an internal crisis that has undermined its legitimacy. Many of you will agree that such erosion of confidence in those who are meant to represent us is both alarming and unacceptable. The scandal has ignited fierce debates about national sovereignty and the contentious policies surrounding Brexit. In an era when the integrity of our institutions is paramount, it is deeply concerning to witness a political party, long held to high standards, tumbling into disarray through its own missteps. What strikes me most is the manner in which the scandal has permeated every level of political discourse. It has become a mirror reflecting not just the failings of a single leader, but a broader malaise that affects our collective decision-making processes. The fallout is visible in the way voters now cast their ballots with a heightened sense of skepticism, wary of empty promises and veiled deceptions. It forces us, as engaged citizens, to reconsider the values that underpin our democracy and to demand a higher standard of accountability from those in power. Moreover, the repercussions extend beyond immediate political circles. The debate over Brexit, long a polarizing issue, has gained new urgency as the integrity of negotiations and the future of our national autonomy hang in the balance. This scandal has sharpened the focus on how deeply interconnected political credibility and policymaking truly are. The current state of affairs leaves us questioning whether our political leaders are capable of steering the nation through turbulent times, or if their internal conflicts will lead to further instability. Looking ahead, the future of Sir Keir Starmer remains shrouded in uncertainty. His leadership, now under intense scrutiny, must confront the dual challenge of restoring trust within his own party and reassuring the public that change is on the horizon. As we ponder these questions together, it is essential that we continue to engage critically with these issues, holding our leaders to account and ensuring that our democratic values are not compromised. Thank you for joining me in this analysis. Until the next video, stay informed and never stop questioning.